First of all, assessment is the engine which drives student learning. Of course, in the educational or the learning process, assessment has a very important role to find out where the students are and how they are progressing. So, if the teacher is doing his best and is making a lot of effort to deliver the lesson, and the students are really benefiting from the lesson, we cannot really reach a comprehensive idea of how the students are benefiting except by assessment. If there is no assessment, we're not going to know where the students are.
Purpose of assessment and how. As you can see from this clip art, this man has just finished college and he's applying for a job. So the woman who is interviewing him is saying, I see you did well in school, but what real world skills do you have? Actually, the man answers, tests. I can take tests. What does this mean? Yes? That's right. So all he was doing in the learning process, in the educational system, was just taking tests. And that is his comprehension of the skills he's got. But can I ask you something? Is he going to succeed in real life? Is he going to succeed at his work? Of course not. Because when we really enter college, this is our first step in real life, right? And then, when we finish college and we try to communicate with the real world in our work or in our jobs, we find out that we lack a lot of skills. Do you agree with me? Why is this? Is it because it's our fault? Do we blame ourselves? Or do we have to think back when we were young, when we were at school? What was happening actually? How were we assessed as students? Tests, just tests. And not only tests, we were assessed by seeing how we covered the content that we were taking, but not other skills. We were not assessed with our skills, the potentials that we had, just the coverage of the content. So there is a big difference between assessment and evaluation. Assessment is to increase quality, but evaluation is to judge quality. What is more effective, assessment or evaluation? And what do you think happening at our schools in the traditional way, assessment or evaluation? Remember in the previous session, if you were attending, the professor said something about judging, right? At school, we are being judged only. We are not being assessed, because assessment covers a lot of things. So there is a difference between assessment and evaluation. Which is better, to increase quality of the students, of the learner, or to judge him, his quality? To say he is good, he is bad, he is excellent, he is very good, he is low, he is high. Which is better, to increase his quality and his skills, or to just give a judgment and that's it? Yes? Yeah. That's right. That's right. So, and you summed up the unified theory. It's not only about judging, but it's also to increase the quality of the learner. and to understand where he is stepping, where he's standing in the learning process. Okay, we are living in the 21st century, right? And of course, this century is so different from the previous centuries. We are living in the 21st century, and we should have skills that suit and fit this century. Like what? We should have critical thinking skills, solving problem skills. We should know how to communicate, not only with others, but with ourselves, interpersonal and intrapersonal relationships. And we should know how to listen actively to others and communicate ideas in a good way, not only in our culture, but also with people and students and learners from other cultures and countries. We should know how to collaborate with each other. What is the difference between cooperation and collaboration? Cooperation means that all of us have one idea and we help each other to reach this idea or to express this idea. But collaborate means I have an idea, you have an idea, she has an idea, he has an idea, and from all of this we reach one idea to be expressed. So this is the difference. And we should know in our educational system how to collaborate, how to work in a team, how to add and contribute to each other. Creativity. Also, the 21st century skills needs us to be creative, needs us to be innovative, and to think of new ideas and how to express them in a new way. Also, we have leadership. Do our schools in this present time in Egypt help us, help the students to be leaders? Actually, to be leaders? I think in the 50s, I hear my father and my mother talking about the educational system and the schools. Actually, there was a team in the radio, there was a team in a theater, in music, and each team was having a leader. So they knew what were they doing, and they knew how they acted. But now, what is happening now at our schools? I don't think that we have leaders. I don't think that we are really bringing up our students and learners to be leaders and to communicate with each other. Digital literacy. If you see your children at home or your sisters and brothers who are younger than you will be surprised that they are using computers, laptops, the internet, I think more effectively than us. So each time a new generation comes up, this generation knows more than the previous ones about digital literacy. What is the meaning of digital literacy? That we know how to use the computer, how to use the internet, how to use these technological devices that are coming up. Communication, as I said. Emotional intelligence. Do our schools really assess our emotional intelligence? What is the meaning of emotional intelligence? To be smart and clever when you understand yourself, when you understand your feelings, and when you understand the feelings of the other people that you are talking to. I don't think that our schools are really assessing the students' emotional intelligence. And this is a huge and fatal mistake, because actually all our dealings together and communication depend on emotional intelligence. There is another point that the 21st century needs from us, needs from the new learners. Entrepreneurship. What is the meaning of entrepreneurship? To be a young businessman, a young businesswoman, to know how to set up a project. And not only this, it has to be a new project, or it has to be presenting innovative and creative ideas. The project has to continue among competition. So do our schools and does the learning process at our schools and educational system in Egypt teach the students really to be an entrepreneur? I don't think so. Because most of the tests and most of the skills are just going towards what? Covering the subjects, covering the curriculum that we are taking. But are we really encouraging our learners to know how to set up a business? I don't think so. And this is a huge mistake, because the 21st century needs from us more and more skills. Global citizenship. Have you ever heard the term that the world is a small village? Have you heard this? So this is global citizenship. We have to teach our learners and students and assess them how they are viewing themselves inside the world. They are not going to be separated from the world, but they have to be integrated. They have to look at the world as a small village, because this is so important when they communicate with other cultures and other people from other countries.